In the village of Akanji, nestled along the winding rivers of West Africa, life had always followed a steady rhythm. The elders of the village often spoke of a time long ago when their ancestors ruled with wisdom and strength. But with each passing generation, the stories grew fainter and the royal bloodline vanished without a trace. Little did anyone know the bloodline had not been lost forever, just hidden away, waiting for the right time. My name is Bayo, and I've lived in Akanji my whole life. I work as a farmer, but my heart belongs to the ancient ways, the stories, the songs, and the customs that have kept our village thriving through the years. One evening, as the sun sank behind the hills, casting its golden glow over the village, I was sitting with the elders around a crackling fire, listening to old Nana Kwaku speak. "Do you know the tale of the lost heir?" Nana Kwaku asked, his voice thick with age but still filled with power. We all leaned in. The story was one many of us had heard before, but it had never been told in such detail. Nana Kwaku began, his eyes glowing in the firelight. It's said that many generations ago, our ancestors ruled a great kingdom. The king had a son, Osei, a young prince with a heart full of dreams. The kingdom was thriving and the people were prosperous. But one fateful day, Osei vanished. Some say he was taken by the spirits of the forest, others believe he left to find himself, but no one knew where he went. And with his disappearance, the kingdom fell into chaos. I could feel the weight of Nana Kwaku's words settle on the group. He continued, "For years, the elders believed the heir to the throne had died, but a few whispered that Osei had gone into hiding. They said he would return when the time was right, when the kingdom needed him most." "Has he returned?" I asked, unable to suppress my curiosity. Nana Kwaku looked at me with a knowing smile. "Perhaps he has." The next morning, as I was working in the fields, I saw a figure walking towards the village. He was tall, with broad shoulders and an air of quiet strength. His face was unfamiliar, but there was something in his gaze, something that seemed out of place in our small village. I felt a pull in my chest, as if I had seen this man in a dream. He was called Kwame. He arrived at the village gates and spoke to no one, only looking around as if searching for something. I watched him closely, and something in my heart told me this man was not just a traveler. He was part of something much larger. That evening, Kwame came to the fire. The villagers were hesitant, as newcomers often were, but Nana Kwaku welcomed him with a calm smile. As they spoke, I couldn't help but overhear bits of their conversation. Kwame mentioned his mother, a woman from our village, and an heirloom passed down through the generations, an intricately carved necklace. This necklace, he said, had always been worn by the ruler of Akanji, a sign of royalty. The necklace sounded familiar, but I couldn't place it. That night, I couldn't sleep, thinking about Kwame's words. Something gnawed at my thoughts, a sense that this man had been sent to us by the spirits themselves. The next morning, I went to see Kwame. I approached him slowly, asking if I could help him. He smiled and nodded, revealing that he was seeking something buried deep within our village's history. "I am the son of Osei," Kwame said quietly, his voice almost a whisper. "I've come to reclaim what is mine." I couldn't believe my ears. The lost prince, the heir to the throne of Akanji, standing before me in the flesh. But Kwame's eyes held a sadness, a weight of years spent searching for a home he had never known. He explained that he had spent his life wandering, feeling the pull of his ancestors, until he finally uncovered the truth. The royal bloodline had not disappeared. It had been hidden by those who feared its power, and now he was here to restore the legacy of his forefathers. I knew what I had to do. I brought him to Nana Kwaku, who listened quietly, then nodded solemnly. "The spirits have indeed brought you back," Nana Kwaku said. "But you must prove yourself, for the throne of Akanji is not given lightly." Kwame knelt, and for the first time, I saw the weight of his lineage in his eyes. He was ready to face the trials, to prove that he was worthy of the mantle that had been stolen from him. Over the next few weeks, Kwame participated in the trials, the dance of the ancestors, the test of strength, the journey to the sacred river. With each challenge, he grew stronger, more connected to the land of his birth, and more sure of his place in the village. Finally, the day came when the elders gathered to make their decision. In the heart of the village, under the great baobab tree, Kwame stood before the people of Akanji. His chest was bare, his necklace resting against his skin, gleaming in the sunlight.